Joining us now, Texas Congressman, House Appropriations Committee member Henry Cuellar. Congressman, great to see you. Where is the compromise? What do you see as a potential compromise here to open this government?
Well, first of all, let's look at the objectives. If we want to go ahead and stop drugs, let's look at the latest DEA report. Most drugs will come through ports of entry. So we got to start putting technology, personnel, X-ray machines, because that's where most drugs will come in. If you want to look at the people that overstay, 33% of them are illegal crossings, and 67% of them are visa overstays. So we got to look at what the objectives. And let me say something about the border. I live on the border, and I will tell you that if you look at the latest FBI statistics, McAllen, which is part of my area, had 4.8 murders per 100,000. Washington, D.C. here, it's 16.7. So it's almost four times more dangerous here in Washington, D.C. when you look at those crime statistics.
But you actually do have border barrier wall fencing along that portion of the border, don't you?
Yeah, and well, in
that's
fact,
kind of the point.
Well, let me make the point. Back in 2008, President Bush said that he wanted 700 miles. So right now we got about 654 miles. In that particular area, we didn't like that fence. So what Senator Cornyn and myself, we sat down and we came up with a compromise called a levee wall, which helps some flooding and helps on security. There are ways that we can compromise on certain infrastructure. The problem is we don't give the local Border Patrol chiefs to sit down with the local communities and work out what sort of security we can provide. It cannot be Washington driven. Those folks down there at the border know better than Washington bureaucrats.
But I want to bring Robert Wolf in here. He's a fellow Democrat, but the Congressman, Robert, and you're welcome to ask him a question, is laying out what people would get behind, but these are all ideas that are would be part of a broader compromise.
Yep. Here's what I would say. It's interesting that we've had Texas Representative Thornberry, Texas Representative Hurd, and yourself all say they don't believe the wall is the right way, which actually is most of Texas, the congressmen that cover most of Texas. I don't want to get into just the wall debate. I want to get into UR and appropriations. Have you seen, from the White House, where they want to spend the $5.6 billion? Because what I have been told is that the Appropriations Committee in the Senate nor the House has actually seen a plan on how they want to appropriate.
Absolutely. I saw the OMB letter that got sent off last weekend when they were negotiating. And without due respect, that is not the way we do appropriations. Now, today I'll be releasing about 3 or 4 pages of specific recommendations for Border Patrol, for CBP officers, for ICE, for immigration judges, for Coast Guard, so we can go ahead and secure the border. But we cannot play a defense on the 1-yard line called the U.S.-Mexico border. We got to extend our defense, our perimeters, and put money to work with Mexico on the southern border with Guatemala and keep working with those Central American countries. In fact, let me give you this example. We spent $18 billion of border security on the U.S.-Mexico border. $18 billion. About 3 years ago, we shifted over $80 million to help Mexico secure the southern border. Did you know, with those $80 million, that we're stopping 220,000 individuals that were coming over to the U.S.? 220. What did we get last year? There were 396,000 illegal crossings, and in 2000 we had 1.6 million crossings. So the numbers have gone down. We got to learn how to play defense a better way than just playing it on the 1-yard line.
Congressman, nobody disputes the problem with overstayed visas and the like, but some will say parts of the border, the walls make sense. It's worked in California and a few other places. What's the hang-up on part of the border using a wall?
Well, look, there are, and I'll be very straightforward. If there are certain areas where you can step 1 foot over here, you on the U.S. side, and one on the Mexican side, we pretty much have walled that up, fenced that up in Arizona, New Mexico, and California. Then you start going into Texas.
Oh, but
Texas
walls are immoral. Walls are immoral, according to your leader.
Let me finish. So we got 1,200 miles out of the 1,954 miles. If you ever been to West West Texas, you got the biggest cliffs that are better than the walls that that President Trump wants to talk about. If you look at the river, keep in mind when they put a wall or a fence, they don't put it at the riverbank. They actually go sometimes 1 mile inside. So if you believe in private property rights, which I know you all do, why are we giving up 1 mile of territory over there? And if somebody wants to claim asylum, all they have to do is get to the bank, and the fence is 1 mile away. They're in the U.S. They can claim asylum or credible fears. We just got to be smarter on how we secure it. I'll get you this 3-4 pages, and you will see very detailed. In fact, it's $7 billion more than the $5.6 billion that the president wants.
Congressman, in terms of a compromise, though, because the government is shut down, we're nearing the longest shutdown in modern U.S. history. Why don't the Democrats put something on the table, even outside of border security, in terms of immigration, like protection for the Dreamers? Why doesn't the leadership put that on the table and say, if you give us this, and not temporary, but let's just talk about a path to citizenship, put that on the table and open the door to negotiations? Why isn't that happening?
Because we've done it over and over and over again. Last year, we tried to discharge the DREAM Act that had a lot of more security, and the Tea Party folks basically said no. The Tea Party folks already said no to Dreamers. You saw what happened on the Senate negotiation with Senator Graham, and he's been trying very hard to negotiate. Bottom line is, it's, to mix both of them has just been very difficult. I want to see strong border security.
I know, but you still stand for the Dreamers, don't you? You still stand for trying to give them protection. Because the protection that President Obama gave them, that was essentially temporarily rescinded, and it's being heard in front of the Supreme Court today. You could wrap this up and come up with a compromise, but neither side is willing to do that.
Well, let me ask you, is President Trump willing to do that? Is Stephen Miller willing to advise him to do that? Or are the Republican Tea Party willing to do that? There are so many folks on the other side that refuse to do that. Now, there are people like Will Hurd, John Cornyn, other folks who are willing to compromise. We need to get the people in the middle. And I'm talking about Democrats and Republicans. Let's come up with something.
But if you won't put it on the table, we'll never know.
Okay, it's on the table. Let's see what happens. See if any of the Republicans will take it, will take and say we'll be willing. I have not heard one Republican say that. Now, Will Hurd and Senator Cornyn and other folks have been very, very good about it. And notice those are the people that represent the border. Every single member of Congress on the border, Democrat, Republican, they don't support the wall. We want a strong border security, but we want to have fair immigration also.
Congressman, you need to pick up that red phone, that direct line to Nancy Pelosi, and tell her what you just said. Congressman, it's good to see you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Congressman Henry Cuellar.